welcome back to another Bear Essential Review with me, BearElliott. And guess what? Today's Thursday. That means we're throwing back to a toy. Maybe it's a Happy Meal toy. Maybe it's just a collector's item of the past. Never know what date or decade that we're going to head back to, but I have my time-traveling cauldron here. So I'm going to stick my hand in there and find out where we're going to go. Now, I've added some interesting new stuff in here, so I'm kind of curious to see what we got. I found a whole bunch of collector's cards, so I'm hoping I get one of those. And so we're digging around, and okay, here we go. Oh, so I was at a little antique shop in Virginia where I came across these collecting cards. Does anybody remember WWF? Now, it's also now called WWE for entertainment, but in my day and age, it was called WWF, the World Wrestling Federation. So they made them change the name because it was also the name of the Wildlife Federation. They won in the lawsuit. But hey, I found some collecting cards that go back to when Hulk Hogan was ripped. And I remember on Saturday afternoons, WWF would come on. I'd watch it because my dad would want to watch something in the living room, so I'd have to go to their bedroom, which was the only other TV in the house. And I remember watching hours of wrestling, or as my brother calls it, wrestling. I don't know why he calls it that. I've never called it wrestling, but I call it wrestling. Maybe wrestling is the correct spelling, and I've been saying, or correct pronunciation. I've been saying it wrong my entire life. But hey, we're throwing back to them. So we have the World Wrestling Federation Superstar cards. 12 cards, collect all 150 cards. We're not going to be collecting all of them because I think I only found one of these. Win 1 in 5 of 500 free collector's kits. Wonder if I can still cash in to get those. I don't think I can because these go all the way back. Even has Hulk Hogan's is trademarked of Marvel Comic Group. That's interesting. I don't know if you can see that, but he's trademarked with the Marvel Comics Group. Are these somehow connected at some time? These are from 1991. I didn't know that he was still that big in 1991. I guess he was. I guess by that point I was out of it. I wasn't watching wrestling anymore. So okay, so it says here, win a classic superstar of the World Wrestling Federation collector's kit. 500 kits to be given away. Wonder if they got all those. I'll have to Google them and find out. You need to enter one complete and return an entry form inside. So there's an entry form in here. 2, mail a 3x5 card with your complete mailing address. And then I guess there's only just 2 steps. So you bought one of these, you got your little entry thing, and then you filled out a little card and you won one of 500 of them. I don't know what was in it. Maybe a wrestler came and hand delivered it to you. But we're going to bust these puppies open and see what we got. I don't watch wrestling any longer, so I'm not really 100% familiar with I know there's some guy named John Cena, I think. Okay, here's our entry. So, yeah, I don't think we made the cutoff date, if there was one. I kind of am halfway tempted to do this and fill it out and see what happens. Oh, no, here it is. There is a date. Contest ends October 1st, 1991. I think we missed our date. Okay, here we go with our cards. We got the Texas Tornado. I can't tell if that's a goatee or what's going on with his face. It's interesting. And then on the back of the card, it looks like so it's the Texas with the tornado on it. Oh, it gives you his stats. It's his weight, where he's from. He was 254 pounds. Denton, Texas, where he's from. His birthday was February 3rd. Trademark holding the Twisting Texas Tornado. Known for being one of the most popular athletes ever to hail from Texas. I don't know about that. Funny enough, it doesn't... okay, this is cool. Favorite quote, "I'll take the fight to any man in the WWF." And there's a little line for his autograph. So you could actually take this to him and get an autograph. That's kind of cool. Next we have Mr. Perfect. I remember Mr. Perfect. And then it's got his stats on the back. Then we got the Ultimate Warrior. I think the Ultimate Warrior, if I'm right, he just passed away recently. So there's the Ultimate Warrior. I remember him with all those fringe and everything and the war paint on his face and everything. I remember all these. I don't think I was watching back in 91. I may have just gotten, no, because I was back in high school then. I know I definitely wasn't watching it. Here's another Mr. Perfect. I guess Mr. Perfect got 2 cards. Ooh, here's a good one. Hulk Hogan. So I wonder if they have like multiple different ones for different guys. The Bushwhacker. I remember him. Sergeant Slaughter. I remember Sergeant Slaughter only from G.I. Joe. That I did not know until, I think it was not until like college that he was actually a wrestler. And I was like, really? The G.I. Joe character? I thought he was fake. Nope, turns out he was a real life guy. Here's another Hulk Hogan. So yes, there is multiple different Hulk Hogans in here. And we got another Texas Tornado. Right there. We have the Undertaker. I think he's still wrestling. Because I listen to a podcast and they talk about wrestling all the time. And I think he's still wrestling. The Barbarian. Ooh, he looks like he's right out of Game of Thrones. Creepy guy. Okay, here's our last one. We got the Legion of Doom. Wasn't that a superhero, like in the Super Friends? Wasn't there like arch nemesis with like Lex Luthor and all them? So hey, we threw back to the WWF Trading Cards of 1991 on today's Throwback. Hope you've enjoyed this review. Overall, out of my 5-pile review, still not being a huge wrestling fan, but these are nostalgic. I definitely am going to give them a 3.5. It's fun. They're catchy, and hey, why not throw them back to a different decade? It's always fun to think back to the past and what was I doing back in 1991? I was very young. And I had a lot more hair. So until next time, bye, Cublets!
I could go out in the darkness, see you calling my name. I hear you shouting, hear you calling, but it's not the same. Every word that you are throwing right into my back doesn't matter to me, cause I'm keeping my track. Let me go. Let me go.